It's times like this I wish I had more than one talent. And it's 8 o'clock.
No, it's 5 o'clock.
No,
Oh,
5 o'clock
it's-
SLT.
It's 5 o'clock SLT. I'm sorry.
No, that's
Okay.
5 o'clock here.
Bottom champ. Hello everyone. Welcome to where's the bing bong? I need the bing bong. It's not official until I hear the bing bong. Where's the
Okay.
the clock's broken? We don't have the there it goes.
It's just late.
There it is. There's the official bing bong. Hello everyone. Welcome to Lauren's. I'm your host for tonight, CatBoy Kuhua. I'm sort of filling in at the last minute because unfortunately Lauren is having a personal emergency with a friend. So she's not going to be here tonight. So this show is being thrown together at the last minute by a bunch of people who are unprepared. So it's going to be pretty much the same as it is every other week.
Yay!
Now, I invited a comedian over. I hope he comes over. He was a gentleman that performed over at SL11B. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He did rock and roll and R&B, and he threw in comedy while he's at it. But we already have a musical artist for tonight at 6, and that person is
From Diesel.
Rum Diesel. Strum Diesel's coming in at 6. So hopefully Chip Takacs will come in and regale us with some comedy, and if he can have the stage for as long as he wants, because I certainly didn't prepare for a whole hour.
Here he
But
is. Here he is.
Oh.
Chip the cock. Well, I don't know what that's what his name.
That's his name. That's him. That's Chip. Chip made it.
Yay! Yay! Way to go, Chip. Welcome,
Chip.
Chip.
Chip, you're in voice, Chip? Let's see. Nick doesn't have his dot on. Oh, somebody tell him. Get in voice. Get in voice, Chip. You gotta get in voice. But Chip was brilliant over SL11B. I thought he was really, really funny. So I'm glad that he's here tonight. And if he doesn't have his dot on, he won't even be able to hear me, let alone do it.
No, I just said even I am telling me he needs voice.
Needs to be in voice.
I'll
if
discuss
he's doing
it.
if he's doing anything at all, I'll let him up here. Now I'm going to start off with something I wanted to show you, and unfortunately I got to show you some bad news. Some bad news, and it's in a photo here, and I can't move it because the camera is giving me a hard time. I hate it when you're trying to move your camera around and it catches onto an invisible prim, so that when you rotate, you go in a direction you really did not intend. And that's what's happening to me right now because there's invisible prims all over this damn place. You gotta trim those prim trees, Lauren. Here we go. Oh, bad news. It looks like Justin Bieber's in trouble with the law again.
Oh.
Justin Bieber. No, you gotta learn. When is that poor kid gonna learn? As a Canadian, I'm sorry for Justin Bieber, but as a Canadian, you know, you guys can please just keep him over in Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills kind of deserves him. Here, I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna leave this up here. There we go. Sorry, Putin. Gotta take second place for a change. I think that all the trouble that Putin's causing is probably has something to do that he doesn't like being upstaged by Hamas and Israel. If you think about it. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna get into some comedy here. There we go. Now here's a story that has exploded on social media. Has anyone heard anything about the lady in black? Has anyone heard anything about that? Yep, lady in black. Now there's a woman that has been walking all along the southeast and midwest along a highway. Mostly, I believe it's Highway 50, which is an interstate highway. Can anyone tell me if I'm right or wrong about that? She's been going along Highway 50. She's been spotted by news media. She's been spotted mostly by people on social media saying, here's this strange woman. And they actually made a Facebook dedicated to her. So you go into Facebook and type in woman in black. She's been caught walking along. She's been tracked going for 500 miles. U.S. highway, not an interstate highway. Okay. She's been tracked for 500 miles, and no one has a clue who she is. Her identity is a mystery. She's only known as a woman who's dressed completely in black. And as for myself, by the way, I do have an alibi. You think I'm going to walk 500 miles? I took a cab when I went around Relay for Life. All right? I'm not walking around that thing. It takes more than an hour. My feet are sore from wearing these high heels. Now, here's an interesting story. I just pulled this off of Yahoo News, which is literally one of the laziest news sites. They never cite their sources, so honestly, what I'm reading to you could be entirely made up. This could be some reporter's imagination, as far as I know, because it's one of the most terrible sources. But here it is. An inmate in Arizona has escaped from a detention facility by jumping up on top of a basketball hoop, and then from there, he jumped over a fence. Yowzers. State troopers are on the lookout for any recent applications for the NBA draft. Is Chip got his voice on? Chip's back?
I believe so.
Chip's got his voice, so at least he can hear us. Hey, Chippy.
Chip,
You got
can
your
you hear us?
microphone, too. You can hear.
It's a miracle.
But can he
He's
speak?
cured.
Can he speak? He's got oh, look at his cute little necklace. He's got a little guitar necklace with a dog tang on it.
No, that's about normal.
All right. And on to the next story. The next story is the Canadian Open in golf. Oh, God. What the heck is not so funny or entertaining about golf, huh? Golf is just great. South African Tim Clark won the Canadian Open. Now, the Canadian Open has not been won by a Canadian since 1954. That is exactly 60 years ago, last time we won the Open. And that's really not so surprising considering we can't even hold on to the Stanley Cup for 20 years now. So I don't see why we would ever consider ourselves to be good at golf. And by the way, in other news, the Detroit Lions crossed the border the other day and they beat up the Hamilton Tiger Cats to steal our Grey Cup. When asked for a comment, the Lions said the Tiger Cats are a bunch of pussies. You see, we're not so great at sports. We're not so good at comedy either. All right, now I went through. This is the last thing I've got. This is the last thing I've got here. I wonder how much I can get out of it. But are wired for streaming. Okay.
We can deal with that if he wants to go to stream.
Oh yeah. Tell him if you want to come up here and we could just turn on the radio and then you can do your comedy that way. You want to do that?
You can.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Anyway,
Except
what
we're all gonna
happened?
laugh 10 seconds after the joke's over.
Yeah, I know. Well, you work with what you got.
Hand me the stream there, Chip, and I'll see if I can get it thrown in.
All right. Recently this just happened today on Twitter. You know, the Twitter, they like to have fun with things like, like Dr. Seuss, like rejected titles or sad Disney movies or stuff like that. And today was a pretty funny one. They came up with dog movies. Movies that have been slightly altered to have sort of a dog theme. And I'll read some of these are mine, some of these I picked up, and I think these are actually pretty good. The Pawshank Redemption. The Lassie Temptation of Christ. All right. Oh, this one's probably Queen Elizabeth's favorite. Escape from New Yorkies. Right? She's got Yorkies. And here's an old classic. The Wizard of Paws. Now here's one you're going to have to put a little consideration into because some of these are not so obvious, and that is The Postman Always Tastes Nice. I like that one.
And this reading is specifically for Reginald, right?
Huh?
Reginald.
I guess so.
Reginald Xavier Brunswick over here on the couch.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because Reginald's got this wonderful dog. Oh my God, you're absolutely right. I didn't see that. Right. That is a lovely mesh avatar, by the way. Isn't it amazing what they can do with mesh these days?
Doc's here.
Okay, here's another one. This one you're gonna have to put a little thought into. Squirrel interrupted. Get it? Because squirrels always cause dogs to go crazy, and they chase them off. And it's like squirrel. Pitbull Durham. I like that one. Like toilet water for chocolate. Huh? Toilet water for
Never
chocolate.
made
Okay,
sense
that got something.
before either.
Hello,
Yeah.
Doc.
Evening.
Was Doc
My
here?
son is here.
Doc, oh thank God, Doc's here. Doc, you can have the stage as soon as I'm done here.
No,
And
thank
we
you.
also have no.
Nope.
We're also going to do Doc, and we're going to do Chip. But all right.
I appear to be uninformed. I see no Lauren.
Lauren is
Lauren
not
is-
in tonight.
Yeah, that is correct.
Lauren is away.
So
Lauren
therefore,
is-
you and CatBoy and our new performer over here, Chip, can have the stage.
You're lucky that I'm even here.
okay.
You can,
We're-
and you
we're
oh,
always lucky
and
that
by
you're
the
even
way,
here.
by the way, you are entirely welcome to do like Lauren and use old material.
Uh-huh. See? We're always using old material. That's what
Wouldn't be
Tinkerer
hard
doesn't
to
know.
There are no
because
new
he's got a
jokes. It's
memory
only people
problem.
that haven't heard the old ones. That's all.
See, I'm standing here waiting to see how long CatBoy can go before I step up. That's what I'm doing.
It might be sooner than you think. Okay, now here's some other dog movie titles here. Apocalypse Chow. That's what happens if you feed your dog cheese.
Oh,
Yeah. You get apocalypse.
what happens if you feed your dog peanut butter?
You're just weird. You're just
They
weird.
talk.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get started on the whole dog peanut butter thing. This is not one of those kind of Sims. All right. Bark to the Future.
No.
Got that? Bark to the Future. Okay. How about Walking Miss Daisy? Huh? Because some people would call their dog Miss Daisy. Okay. Guess who's throwing up dinner? I like this one. Spayed and Confused. Because that's how your animal comes back from the vet. Spayed and Confused. And here's one. A little takeoff of the French sci-fi thriller District K9. Anyone see that one?
That's actually pretty good.
All right. How about My Best Friend's Shedding? Best Friend Shedding. Oh, I love this one. Eat, Pray, Love. Now sit, roll over, and play dead. Yeah, I like that one. Oh, here's a superhero, but not that great. Bat Dog, the Bark Knight. That's a groaner. Silence of the Labradors. Yeah. Scooby,
Yeah.
Do the Right Thing. This one had sort of a sad connotation. I had to change it a little bit. Was Who Chased Roger Rabbit? Because originally that one was Who Killed Roger Rabbit? Because you know that dogs don't just chase them. All right. How about No Country for Old Yeller? That's a bit sad. Poor Old Yeller. Pup Fiction. The Maltese Terrier. Huh? The Good, the Bad, and the Pugly. Of course, Thinker would laugh at Maltese Terrier because he's the only one that remembers that old movie with Humphrey Bogart. Good, the Bad, and the Pugly. And the last one I got is Inglorious Bitches. Because I had Inglorious Bastards, and then we got Inglorious Bitches. Now, we're going to bring up Chip Takacs because he's new. The new guy
the
always goes
stream
up
is
first.
in. He's good to go.
Stream is in. He's ready to go. All right,
yeah.
let's bring up Chip Takacs,
All
everyone.
right.
So let's put on your radios. You have to toggle your radio, everyone.
And if he's got his sound on, he can hear the applause anyway. So,
They were doing it with typing, and I just couldn't get it.
We can't.
Oh,
Well, none of us can.
wait a second.
Why is he doing this?
Oh, he doesn't have a microphone set up for SL because his computer set up for streaming.
And they were doing it with typing, and I just couldn't get it. That's not a repeating type thing, okay? It's just what happens with streams.
Okay.
Why is he doing this way?
I have to do it
Oh,
this way.
he doesn't have a
Oh,
microphone.
look
well-
at that. We're all going through.
Don't be telling them my secrets there, CatBoy. What's the matter with you?
I'm sorry.
Don't be telling. I'm actually a live performer, guitar player, singer, and my whole computer setup is set up with.
Okay.
Is set up. I've got to shut down the.
Oh, look at that. We're all going through.
What? Yeah. You're all going through it. Now you're in trouble. You're breaking some law. I don't know what it is, but you're breaking it, and you're gonna go to jail, young man. You better change your outfit. You had that outfit on for like months already. I saw you with that at a SB11. Okay, now where was I? I forgot where I was. Oh yeah, the reason why I don't have it on voice. I knew I was I'm 30 seconds delayed. Is it that much? Oh,
Yep,
that's a
it's
drag.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I guess that would be. It would be a lot of wires that I had to start switching right away. And to be honest with you, you don't want me to start switching. I do want to hear your voices, any comments or feedback. Okay, so now I'll start my show. I don't know what to say. I'm not a comedian in that sense. I just come up and tell you what I think and what I feel. And there's so many things going on in the world today. There's nothing but jokes there. I don't know what they are, but there's jokes there. We got a joke for something. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so I'm a live performer here in Second Life, and I always talk between my songs. And while talking between my songs, I tell a little bit of a story about myself, about something that I've done in my life. Personally, I thought that this is a great, what is the word I'm looking for here? Can anybody see the words that I'm looking for? No, you probably can't. This is a great way of practicing your comedy and stuff like that. And if you ever want to be a comedian, this is definitely the way to go. And I always wanted to be a comedian. I did do an act one time in New York City. I actually booked myself into a comedy club. Lord knows why I did it. But like 25 of my friends showed up, so I had to go up on stage and do 5 minutes worth of comedy. And I just don't remember. It was like driving. I drove there, and I just told the story of when I drove there. That as I was driving, there's a lady up in front of me, and she got to the toll booth, and we have Easy Pass in New York, and she didn't have an Easy Pass, and she was in the Easy Pass lane, and I'm sitting behind her. Go, they got a big sign there. You couldn't see it. What's the matter with you? And you know, I wanted to yell at her. I wanted to get out of the car and yell at her, but I didn't get out of the car. So I shot her. That's right. I had to kill her. Left her dead right there in a BQE. Anyway, I don't kill people all the time. I just kill them if they block me if I'm in the Easy Pass lane. That's all. Don't block me in the Easy Pass lane. I love driving in New York City. If any of you have been to New York City, raise your hand if you've been to New York City.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to wait 30 seconds for you to raise your hand, but I'm going to take for granted that you are you've actually passed through New York City. New York City is an insane asylum right now. We have the craziest stuff going on here. If you got to protest something, don't worry. Go down to Times Square. They now took one of the main highways, which is Broadway, which runs right down Times Square. They made it into a sitting mall. That's right. They got little chairs, little tables. You can sit there and have lunch. I don't know anybody would want to sit there and have lunch.
Anybody talking?
Uh-oh. Well, you know, I'm going to tell you something. Watch this. Hello, this is Mike. Yes, I'm there. Do you want to go get fish for Samantha, or you got it now? Or?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'll see you at Metro PCS. Bye. Well, now you know that I'm not the king of my castle. I'm going to have to get off the stage, and I'm going to have to get off the stream. That would be the old ball and chain. That would be the funny way of saying my wife. and I have to go get her at the subway. So please, I apologize. I'll come back. I promise. If you have a group or anything, send it to me. Anyone knows anyone Goyd knows me very well. And CatBoy, thank you for remembering me. And my parting thing to you all would be, please have a good day. And if you don't have a good day, don't worry about it.
All right. Yay! That was Chip, everyone. Now, for someone that just got thrown in at the last minute, I think he actually did pretty good. I think he's naturally very funny. I hope we're gonna bring back
Saved
Chip.
by
I
the
hope he
sub.
becomes a regular. Okay, we have Veritas here. Just sort of walked in. Veritas, did you want to do anything tonight? You want to do some? You want to do some carry? Because I was thinking that we should save Doc for last, because Doc can carry it for the rest of the hour.
Well, please.
You're talking to a man
Yeah,
that wasn't
let
planning
Doc
on
carry it on.
doing
I
anything,
came
man.
to be the entertainer.
He's
Oh, so
got
you're
plenty
not-
of old material.
Oh yeah. Veritas, you don't want to do any comedy tonight? I didn't hear that properly, by the way. No comedy, no nothing, no. Okay, all
No, I
right
just
then.
came to watch the show. Just came to be a
Breaking up, yes. Problem
Oh,
with
okay.
voice.
We do have a problem with voice. Okay, that does make sense. Who else was here? Was there anybody else? It was just all right.
That
Well,
would be me.
Oh, Jwheels, right. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for reminding me, Jwheels. Let's bring on Jwheels Carter, everybody. Yay!
Yay!
How about it?
All right, so it's always fun what happens when something happens. Yay! The star of the show can't be here. I love the fact that her face is on everything and she's not here. That's the ultimate promotion. Like she's not here, and it's Lauren's place. Somebody actually told me the thing if they're gonna beat me, they gotta catch me first. That's all there is to it.
Ah! And
down
he
here
has
you
a
have the advantage.
motorized wheelchair.
Because I hope it's gas powered with a V8 or something.
Yeah, and Doc brings up a very good point because at my height where I'm sitting, somebody comes after me, I'm just gonna punch in the balls. It's just
Oh,
that simple.
here it is exactly the right height.
I mean
Here I
that's
am.
just the way it works out. Although it doesn't work out real well when I'm dealing with women because they see the eye level and they're not liking that too much, and I'm like, I'm just like every other guy. She's like, my face is up here, and I'm like, I'm in a wheelchair. What do you want me to do? Seriously?
My eyes are up here, and I'm crippled. I can't crane my neck that high.
But see, here's the thing. They stop being angry with me when they realize that I have the ultimate parking. Like, they understand I can take them to a store, and they don't really have to walk that far. That's just what happens. So,
Amen.
I can pretty much do what I want to do. I actually was in a store with a friend of mine. I was actually in a mall with a friend of mine, and it was a guy friend of mine. We're walking around, and it was around Christmas time, and he was like, I'm really nervous because he kept losing me in the store. It was really crowded. He's like, I'm really nervous. And I said, why? And he goes, I'm afraid that I'm going to like lose you and, you know, you're going to get abducted or something. And I'm like, I'm crippled. Nobody abducts a crippled because nobody wants to deal with all the crap that comes with a crippled. I mean,
well, I guess you're going to take care of me for a while. By the way, my diaper needs changing.
that's exactly right. Yes, sir. And it takes a crane to pick me up if I ever fall out of this chair. That's all
It's
I'm
like,
saying.
oh, you're abducting me. I hope you have wheelchair access. This chair weighs 400 pounds.
Yeah, I actually have a really funny story about that. I have been doing comedy since I was 18 years old, right? And first comedy club that I ever walked into, I said I wanted to do 10 minutes.
You mean
And
you
the
ever
guy
rolled
that-
into, right?
Yes, that's right. Freudian slip right there.
Freud
But,
did
it,
slip.
but it is Second Life, and so, you know, you guys don't know. I could be a complete faker. You know, there's no way to know. But
What,
I
people
figure-
fake it in Second Life? I'm crushed.
there's people faking everything, dog. But the only other explanation for this voice was that I'm the biggest alcoholic that ever existed. I mean, either I'm crippled or I should be like in a coma somewhere from alcohol. And it gets worse. I mean, I always talk to people all the time, you know, on the phone. I'm on the radio a lot, and I'll always get a call if I'm on the radio. They're like, "Dude, are you drunk?" And I'm like, "So what if I am?" Like I have a couple of benefits that nobody else has. First of all, with my hands and the rest of my body being the way that they are, they're gonna shake anyway. So I could be drunk out of my mind and nobody knows. I can't walk. Again, I can be drunk out of my mind and nobody knows. If I hit a door, they don't know whether it's because I'm handicapped or I'm drunk. I mean, seriously, I've got every reason to be drunk all the time.
You ever get busted for drunk driving your wheelchair?
I actually got a really funny story about that. 'Cause
Okay.
People ask me about that all the time. They're like, "You ever get busted for driving that thing drunk?" And I have not ever been busted, but I actually met a cop the other day, and I asked him. I said, "What's the deal? Like, if I were ever caught drunk in this chair, how does that work?" And he goes, "Well, I arrested a dude last night. He was drunk off his ass, and he was driving the chair, and he was being a danger to people."
Ah.
And I said, "You arrested the dude? You didn't give him a ticket?" And he was like, "You better believe I arrested the dude. I took his chair and threw his ass in the hole." I kid you not, true story.
Actually, Jwheels, if he was drunk in a chair, he wasn't drunk off his ass. He was drunk on his ass, right?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But that makes me wonder about a few things in the United States, because I don't know if any of you people have kids, been around kids, but I've been spending a lot of time with my nieces this summer because they're out of school, right? And so you have to take kids to do stuff nowadays. Like when we were growing up, we didn't go do stuff. Like my mom looked at me and goes, "Go and entertain yourself. You're already crippled. How much worse can it get?" Like, if you get run over, how much worse is it going to get? And so we
Well,
had
go
to
ahead,
entertain
play in the
ourselves.
freeway. It's just not going to make a difference.
Right. And so we had to entertain ourselves, but these kids today, you got to entertain them. So I take my nieces to like an amusement park, right? And they have bumper cars. And if you ever watch kids playing bumper cars, like, it's amazing. These kids are just ramming into each other at like
They're
full
little
speed.
homicidal maniacs is what they are.
It's insane. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm watching this, I'm like, you know what? If I went out on the street, out of the gates of this amusement park, and just started running people down, I wouldn't get arrested, but I'd have to look at the cop and go, when he finally caught me, I'd literally have to look at him, and he's talking to me about running these people over. I just look at him and go, "Hi, I'm Jamie, and I like cookies." like that's what it would take. That's what it would take to get me out of that, okay? But you do it in an amusement park and it's totally fine. There's something wrong with that. That's all
I
I'm
like cotton
saying.
candy.
Yeah. I mean, literally, if I start mowing people down, I'm in trouble. And of course, I have the same problem that everybody else in the world has at this point. It's tough to get a job. I actually considered becoming a hitman because I figured, hey, if it works for Dexter, you know, if Dexter can get away with it for 8 years, surely I'm smart enough to figure it out. The thing that stops me is I have no idea how I would get the blood off of my wheels from running somebody down. I honestly don't know.
Oh my god!
You know, they got CSI now, and it's. I bring up Dexter because I remember the final season of Dexter. A buddy of mine, he says, I really think that if the CSI Miami people were on the trail of Dexter, they would solve the case in about 15 minutes and have the rest of the show having donuts and coffee. Like, seriously, that's how many plot holes there were in Dexter. So I didn't ever become a hitman, but I have decided that I might have a job opening that nobody else in the world can really do. Because I am in a wheelchair, that means I can go into any amusement park in the world and I immediately get moved to the front of the line.
Yeah,
Okay? I decided that I should open up a business pimping myself out as your own personal crippled kid to go into an amusement park with. You know, charge like $2,000 a day, and I'll take you into any amusement park in the world. Really,
Right.
I would.
When I go to Disneyland, I'm going to kidnap Jwheels, and we'll be sent to the front of the line at Space Mountain.
yeah.
I'm telling you, the only time that I ever knew that my little brother loved me was when we were kids going to Six Flags. We go to Six Flags, and my brother thought I was the greatest thing ever. The only time he ever really hung out with me because somebody would be around us, and he'd be like, see this dude in the wheelchair? Yeah, that's my brother, and we're going to the front of the line. Thank you very much. And that's the honest truth, folks. I'm not making that up. And I gotta be honest, there are certain things that I miss because I've been in a wheelchair my entire life, so I missed a lot. I've never really played sports, never really done any of that. But as far as walking, people ask me all the time, don't you wish you could walk? And I do not understand that phrase because I've been watching you people walk around for 35 years, and I got to be honest, that looks like it hurts. Like, if I had to walk, I think I would walk like 3 steps and keel over. I really do. Like, I don't know how you people do that. And what's worse, like the other day, I'm in a gym, all right? I'm in a gym, and I see this woman lift her leg up over her head. And then she gets it back down again. Yes, I'm a pervert because I was looking at her, but stay with me, all right? This woman lifts her leg up over her head like there was no effort to it. I'm going to tell you something. If I manage to get my leg up there, it ain't coming back down. It's just not. It's just not going to happen. So honestly, I don't know how you people do it. And CatBoy, you were talking about space aliens earlier.
Mm-hmm.
If there are space aliens and they are looking down from us, they are looking down at us from above, I guarantee you what they say to themselves when they look at a gym and see all these people working out, they're like, yeah, they must be doing that as a power source. Otherwise, why would all those people be in that room? They must be making electricity because there's no other logical reason that you would all be in a room together. I don't know. But I will tell you this. the one thing that I think about a lot is going to space. I always want to go to space because let's face it, if you're in space long enough, it doesn't matter who you are. Nobody's walking in space.
You don't need your legs up there.
I would
They'll just get in the way.
I would finally be on equal ground with everybody.
Yeah.
My only question is, can I get one of those? Can I get one of those wheelchairs like Professor Xavier's got, that just like hovers?
Oh yeah, little
thing
was that?
I want.
Well, that
want
would work
that.
pretty good in space actually. Just have little jets on it that would you just go all over the place, looking really cool.
That would be fun. And what the crazy thing to me is that everybody wants to be something that they're not. I've been in Second Life for almost, like, I guess it's been about 6.5 years now. And I will never forget the day that Thinker found me in a comedy club because I was doing my set, and as I'm doing my set, this guy hobbles in. His avatar has crutches.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
look at him and I'm like, dude, you realize that's not going to get you girls here, right? They realize it's fake. Why are you using crutches?
Oh my.
The other crazy thing that I saw one time, I went to a meeting, and maybe Thinker was at this meeting, but there were two people up on the stage, right? And they're talking, and it's all serious. And like 5 minutes goes by, and one of them whips out a treadmill and says, I'm sorry, I'm going to stick my avatar on the treadmill while we're doing this so he can get a little workout.
Okay.
What is the point? Okay, I do not understand. I mean, and the only thing I can figure out, if you have exercise equipment, you must be thinking to yourself that if I put my avatar on this equipment, it'll make me feel not so guilty for sitting on my ass 6 hours a day. Like, seriously.
What, 6? Seriously, 6? That's
Well,
on a bad day.
Hey, CatBoy, I'm trying to help you out, man. Shut up.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm on my butt at least 12 hours a day.
If you're spending more than 6 hours a day on your butt, you might need to go outside.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. But the craziest thing I ever saw in Second Life, I'm at a club, and Doc has actually been to this club with me. Doc and I actually did a set at Snippets. You remember Snippets?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was an insane night. I can't believe I dragged Doc into that club with me, and he will probably never go anywhere with me again.
My ass still hurts.
Because that night he met Traeger, who is the club owner at Snippets. And I have a funny story about Traeger. One day I'm there, right? And I'm doing my set, and everything's great. And I'm talking to Traeger after the show. And I kid you not, this woman comes up, and we're in voice, and she says, "Excuse me, where's the restroom?" And I said, "Wait, hold up. Restroom? It's Second Life. What? There are no restrooms." And she goes, "I have a HUD. I have to go somewhere." Like she had a HUD that made her avatar work like a sim, and she had to release it every so often, or there was just a puddle on the floor. I kid you not.
Whatever happened to those HUDs? Still around?
I understand that we're trying to make this more realistic, but if it gets to that point, let me just be honest and say we probably all need to go outside.
Fine. Yeah, we can't take up any floor space with a toilet in here, or else there's going to be less room for people to sit.
I shit my
Cut
pants.
sit on the
toilet.
I don't need to do it in here.
Sit on the toilet.
Well, see, the thing is, Doc just said he shits his pants in the real world. He doesn't need to do it in here too. The thing is, if you're gonna do it in the real world, you don't want somebody to know about it, right? That's the
Right.
beautiful thing about Second Life. You can have whatever you want going on in real life. They don't even know. For all you people know, I'm sitting in my underwear and not wearing anything else. That's beautiful.
Oh no.
Right? Can't get much better than that. But Second Life has been good to me. It's allowed me to do a lot of different stuff that I would have never gotten done before I got here. But the coolest thing of all is that I met an 84-year-old man that somehow likes comedy and various other things, and he has all of this stuff running, but he does virtually nothing. Like, everybody knows Thinkerer, but he does virtually nothing. He's been sitting in that exact same spot in the rafters for 5 years.
I'm a manager. Managers don't do anything. Know that?
Well, that's true. That's true. But at least he's honest about it.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to somebody about Thinker last night, and I was telling him about all of this and what's going on, and I was telling him that he's so old that he was around so that God could consult him on dirt. That's how old Thinker is.
Yeah.
Like, that's
And I got it wrong.
You did. You got it wrong. You had no.
I should have made it white.
Yes, you definitely should have. But that's how long Thinker has been around, and I will tell you this: you all see a man that's here all the time. He's involved in everything. But I will tell you right now that he's a man just like the rest of us. You know, I know this. Most of the time when I have a music show, he's not paying attention. You know when he starts paying attention? When I have a woman with a really nice voice. He's just like everybody else. Because he'll send me an IM and he's like, yeah, she's really good. And I'm like, yeah, boss, why do you think I hired her? So we're all normal people here. That's the thing. We're all normal people here. And the one thing that I have learned about Second Life is the only reason that we look abnormal is because this is the only place that we can actually be ourselves and not be put in a mental institution. Like what is it that Lauren says? But like 20 years ago, this would have been considered a hallucination.
Yeah.
Now it's just called lag.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's called. It's called lag. Hey, here's my question, though, Doc. Here's what I got for you. Okay? You're right about the lag. You're completely right about the lag. My question is, why do we as Second Life people not realize that you can't put 40 people on a sim and not have lag? Everybody comes in here on a Tuesday night and goes, wow, it's lagging. I'm like, yeah, there's people here. That's what happens.
Lag. You got to understand, I live in an old folks' home. If you haven't seen lag till you
That's
walk
the
down the
definition of
hall
lag
here.
there, yeah.
Lag is your friend.
The thing about Thinker that he actually mentioned the other day, and I think it's actually true, he's so old that he's probably already dead and just in denial about it.
Chucked his mortal coil, and now his brain's in here.
I mean that's for all we know. That's what I started thinking about. okay? Because I've never met Thinker. I've never been in the same room with Thinker in the real world. And so it got me thinking about it the other day. What if his brain is uploaded to this grid and he hasn't been alive for like 50 years? Like, what if he's just uploaded his fucking computer and nobody knows? Like, I asked him one time. He lives in Fort Worth, and I asked him. I said, "Boss, I'm coming to Fort Worth. Would you like it if I came by to see you?" You know what his response was? Why? His response was why. If you come to see me, that means I actually have to get up out of my chair.
Yeah. I visit you there. I visit a lot of people every day.
Yes. On
Yeah,
Second Life.
and you do it
On
all
Second
right
Life?
here. You do.
Yes.
I don't really there's all kinds of people all over the grid that I brought here that try and figure out why Thinker is here. Because some of you may or may not know, but he's had a lot to do with psychology throughout the years. He's really big into psychology. And somebody asked me why he spends his time in Second Life. And I'm like, look, if you think about it, the man loves psychology. What bigger zoo is there like a fishbowl in Second Life? You want to get a room full of screwed up people and put them together and see what happens? There's no better way to do it than SL.
Second Life is the biggest petri dish in the world. That's what it is.
You know what's funny about that is that nobody knows this, but Tuesday with Lauren was Thinker's idea. And I really honestly think the only reason that he did it, the only reason that we're here on Tuesday, is so that he has a place to sit when he watches us.
This whole sim's been built around his spot where he sits up in the rafters.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I remember when we got this club built, right? I remember when we got this club built, and Lauren brings me in and she goes, "It's going to be awesome. We can get so many people in here and it'll be cozy and all of this stuff." And Thinker walks in and he goes, "Well, it's okay, I guess. I've been using the same avatar since 2000, so, like, I don't know what really to do with all of these chairs, but it's okay, I guess."
Okay.
And I kid you not, I've known the man for a long time now. That avatar has not changed one iota. Not at all. He's been wearing that I Love Lauren t-shirt so long that it should probably be declared a national landmark. Because I have that shirt, but I'm not about to admit that I have it. Like, that shirt was really cool about 5 years ago, and he never even takes the thing off. It's kind of one of those things. It's like, I realize that I'm a man. I deal with a lot of women in here, and women always tell me, they're like, you can always tell whether you're dealing with a man because he doesn't change his clothes regularly. Right? That's how women think they know if they're dealing with us, because we don't change our clothes regularly. Well, let me put it to you this way, boys. The other way that they know that they're dealing with us is if the only time that we make changes to our avatar is to take our clothes off. Then they know they're dealing with us. And I love the fact that pretty much everybody in Second Life, whether they admit it or not, at one point or another, were here for sex, right? I mean, for crying out loud, Doc Grun is a gore master, and if you've ever been in this club, He's got like 6 girls sitting on his lap on any given Tuesday. He's not shy about it. None of the rest of us should be either.
Hey, the first step is admitting you have a problem, okay?
I see what I think is wrong with that is that you actually said it's a problem. Like,
Yeah. The problem is I only have one lap.
that is very true. He only has one lap. And I have to ask you, sir, since you're interacting with me, I like I said, I've been in the chair my entire life, and the favorite part of my existence, okay, is when I can get a girl in my lap. That's like my favorite thing, to get a girl in my lap. And when I was in college, I had a friend that for her birthday, she decided she wanted a ride across campus in my wheelchair, right? And so we picked a day and we decided that we were going to do it. And I took her from one class to another, and it was about what you would expect. All the men were standing on one side as we're going across campus. All the women were standing on the other. And the men were thinking, I don't know how that guy got that woman in his lap, but he's a pimp. And all the women were thinking, for crying out loud, what kind of self-respect does that woman have? And the way that I know that is she called me later that day after I dropped her off at class. And she says to me, she says, you're not going to believe what happened to me. She says, I got into class and there were all these people talking behind my back. And finally, I pulled one of these women aside and I said, what's the problem? And they said, we saw you riding on that guy's lap and we can't believe you did it. And Nikki said, why? And this woman said, well, what if you would have hurt him? And Nikki looked her straight in the face and she says, he's a guy in a wheelchair. The worst I could have done was broken his legs, and he doesn't use those anyway. True story, folks. I kid you not. That's pretty much all I've got. CatBoy, you want to wrap this up?
Actually, no. We're going to skip right straight to Doc Grun, who's driven an awful long way. So, Doc Grun, you go right ahead and take the stage. You can carry us off.
Yeah, I'll take you in for the
Now,
last
since
4.5
Doc's come such a long way, I'd like to give him an extra, give him some extra time. We'll go a little past 9 o'clock, okay? You can pass that on to our local
artists. Do we have
artist.
any artists tonight?
We do. We do have an artist, but it's your call.
Okay.
Drum diesel.
All right. Well, I didn't have a lot, but thanks to thanks to Jwheels, I got a lot. Okay. And I'll start off with my Roomba has disowned me, folks. Okay.
Oh no, not the Roomba! Come on, your Roomba loves you.
It used to give me all kind of shit when I was at the apartment because I worked it so hard. It don't know what hard work is now. Okay, now it's working like a slave here. Except here, I don't get to sleep with it. Okay, I come home. And my wife has it running for the second time in the same day, okay? I walk up to it, and I put my hand down to say hello, and it just sort of comes over, stops in front of me, drops a load of lint on my foot, and moves on, okay?
That's a bad sound.
Last night I came home, and I found a pile of dried cat turds on my chair, okay? It was under the couch. Like, God damn, I guess it didn't know how good it had it, all right? But... I don't have the apartment anymore, and I'm doing the long commute, which for those of you in America is 80.6 miles each way, twice a day. Okay, I put 1,000 miles plus a week on my car. It's a 2005. It just turned over 200,000 miles. I'm 3/4 of the way to the moon, folks. Okay, now I guess it's used to having it easy too because I came out this morning and it was gone. I'm thinking, oh Christ, it's gone. But I panicked until I saw tracks in the wet grass. The fucking thing was hiding behind the tool shed. It just doesn't like that. But I know there's one place that does love me, It's the fucking gas pump at Sheets. It hops up on its hose every time I pull up there at night because it's a $30 fill-up every night. Now, we're all on here a lot, okay? I'm on here way too much, even though I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm hooked on Second Life, okay? Everybody in this room is hooked on it. You don't want to admit it. You have a problem, but you kind of do it whenever no one's looking. So you don't know you have a problem, okay? But here's the top 10 list. You know you've had too much Second Life, okay?
Oh,
Number
right.
10. You know you've had too much Second Life if you're counting the leaves on the trees in your backyard and you think, at one prim per leaf, no fucking wonder there's so much lag around here. Number 9, you wish you could auto-return your riding lawnmower your neighbor borrowed a week ago. Number 8, you ask your wife to take off her old skin and wear that new slut skin. Number 7, you wish you could res a bed inside the doghouse you are now sleeping in. Number 6, you wish you could set the estate time to midnight so you could sneak out of the house when your wife is looking for you to do a honey-do list. Number 5, you wish your wife would understand that AFK means AFK, goddammit. Number 4, your coworkers comment that you've been wearing the exact same clothes for 3 weeks. I don't know where I've heard that before. Number 3, your dog ran off and you can't just res a new one. Damn it. Number 2, your cat ran off and came back with 9 kittens and you can't just delete them. Oh, no. And the number one reason your paycheck, or the number one reason you've had too much Second Life is your paycheck is worth about as much as your weekly Linden stipend. So those are the top 10 reasons. Those are the top 10 reasons. And for the next 3 minutes, I will take you out with another version of the lightning round, thanks to our late night comments. And here we go. Yesterday, a judge said that Obamacare is an acceptable substitute for state-run health insurance. He actually said that. It's like Domino's being a substitute for Pizza Hut. Then Americans said, well, either way, it's just like taking you guys was longer than 30 minutes to deliver it, so just give us free health care. A judge wrote an opinion today in favor of Obamacare, saying that getting better health care from the state or federal government is the same as ordering from Pizza Hut versus Domino's. I'm not sure I agree. Their websites always worked. Texas Governor Rick Perry announced plans to send 1,000 National Guard troops to increase security. If you really want to slow down the flow of illegal immigrants, stock the border with TSA agents. A new investigation found that people are using fake IDs to sign up for Obamacare. I'm sorry, but today's teenagers just don't know how to party. But instead of us sending troops to the border, you do that when you run. Just do what you do and run out of candy on Halloween. Turn off the lights and pretend America's not home. So the kids move on to the next house. Canada. There you go, CatBoy. I saw that Hillary Clinton visited the headquarters of Twitter and Facebook yesterday. Hillary would also have visited LinkedIn, but she already knows what job she wants. Today, Secretary of State John Kerry traveled to Egypt and had to pass through a metal detector before he could meet with officials, which is ridiculous. Everyone knows he's made of wood. Happy birthday to England's Prince George, who turns 1 today. The prince's first birthday party was a little different. His bouncy castle was an actual castle, and the pony rides were on Camilla. Queen Elizabeth's horse tested positive for morphine and a mix of other powerful drugs. Sources say the Queen is in denial. She thinks someone confused their horse's urine sample with Prince Harry's. President Obama was given an interview recently, and he said he thought that Joe Biden would be a good president. When asked why, he said, because he'd make me look fucking amazing. Edward Snowden is back with yet another spy scandal. In a new interview, Snowden revealed that NSA employees regularly pass around nude pictures of people they spy on. It got even weirder when German Chancellor Angela Merkel said, "So what you think?"
No.
I heard that Rob Ford's nephew is planning to run for a seat on Toronto City Council. He has an interesting campaign slogan, "I'm adopted." President Kennedy said, "Let's put a man on the moon." And by God, 10 years later, we put a man on the moon. Yesterday was the 45th anniversary of that. Nowadays, a big deal for us is we combine the croissant and the donut to get a cronut. When we landed on the moon, everyone remembers what they were doing. And everybody remembers what Neil Armstrong said before he left the capsule and stepped on the surface of the moon. He said, "Out of my way, Buzz. Whack!
Ah.
In a recent interview, Obama said Joe Biden would be, quote, a superb president. In a related story, Hillary punched a hole in a door. According to a new poll, 2/3 of people in Colorado think it should be illegal to smoke marijuana in public, while the other third are still laughing at the word poll. Rupert Murdoch, the guy that owns Fox News, is wanting to buy Time Warner, which owns HBO, in which case you could kiss my ass goodbye. Yes, welcome to Real Time with Bill O'Reilly. Oh, my God. Marvel Comics announced the next Captain America will be black. He has the same powers as white Captain America, except he has to show ID when he votes. Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
President Obama said his strategy for foreign policy is to be patient and determined, which is also a strategy when it comes to Biden's bedtime. A federal judge ruled yesterday that California's version of the death penalty is unconstitutional. Apparently, the difference is California's version has avocado in it. Yum, yum. And even though both Israel and Hamas fired on one another during the 5-hour humanitarian period yesterday, the UN Secretary General said both sides, quote, mostly respected the ceasefire, quote. That's like leaving the house without pants and saying you're, quote, mostly dressed. Thanks a lot, folks. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Woo!
Yay!
Folks,
All right.
Stream is in. I'm going to tell him that he's up. Give him just a couple of seconds. CatBoy, if you want to step
All
back
right.
up there and wrap it up.
Excellent. We're wrapping it up for the night, so let's bring him on. I'm not doing any more comedy. We're wrapping
Tell
up.
him to up and take the stage anyway.